What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on my twin turbo 300ZX. This is kind of going to be a little update video on what's been happening. I haven't been able to make any videos recently because just a lot of stuff been going on, but mainly work. And yeah, a lot's happened with the Z. Let's see, first thing, I finished the mufflers. I welded the mufflers on. Then I got the AC compressor. This thing had a bad AC compressor. I got the AC compressor installed. Then I started working on the wiring, on the harness, cleaning up the harness, but I only got like halfway through it. Then me and a few friends went out to a meet. We cruised out there. Had a good time on the way there. Had an even better time on the way back. A little too good of a time, and I blew the motor. Not exactly how I wanted the night to go, but I mean, I kind of had it coming. So me and my buddy Tony, I mean, it was Tony and one of my other friends, Jordan, found a few cars, was messing around with the other cars on the freeway. But on the way home, the only cars that, well, between me and Tony, the only cars that we got find like a close enough race with each other, because our cars are basically exactly the same, minus his has bigger injectors. I think his is 850s and mine are 740s. But anyways, since I had got the boost controller, I turned up the boost like to where, you know, where I knew that I could go up to. But the problem there was that I didn't have, I don't have an AFR gauge. So I was kind of just going based off of what I was told. And basically, I'm pretty sure that we went lean, and that's how we popped the motor. But I won't know for sure until I take out some of these spark plugs and see exactly what happened, or maybe once we have the motor out and start tearing it down. But I'm gonna say that my fuel pump was either the fuel pump was just weak and it couldn't flow the right amount, or something along those lines. I have a feeling it's a fuel issue. Tony thinks that it might be that the motor was already hurt because this engine that's in this car came out of a shell that he bought, which is his current car right now. And we had no idea if that engine was good or not. We just kind of winged it and tossed it in this one. We did do a compression test beforehand, and the compression test came back good, but I think there was one cylinder on the driver's side, like the center one on the driver's side, that was a little bit of it was a little low on one, like 120 compared to the rest that were like 160, 170. But anyways, that's what he thinks. I think it's a fuel related issue, and we'll see. We'll find out once the engine comes out, but the engine is going to have to come out. And I'm still looking for another motor. I was trying to get a J30 so we can see how that goes together, because the J30 engines are way cheaper than what the Z32 motors are going for, and it's the same thing. I mean, basically the same thing. A few things have to be changed, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's the same block, just has minor changes that need to be done. So I'm already planning on getting a bigger pump. That's for sure. That's what I think the problem was, but bigger pump for sure. Uh, two AFR sensors to get put in once this thing's running again. Uh, that was my mistake. I mean, I know it's a stupid mistake, but you know, whatever. It happened. All I can do now is, fix it and then put those gauges in there and do it all over again. But yeah, the first thing I'm planning on doing is I'm gonna pull these plugs, and we're gonna see if we didn't melt a plug or something, melt a cylinder down. But we'll find out once we get it all torn down. The other thing I noticed, I don't know if we could still see it. That stain right there was coolant. So after I pulled it in here, uh, I left it sitting. I didn't even touch it at all for maybe a week after this happened, and I opened up the radiator cap just to see if it had any coolant, because we're thinking, well, maybe it overheated and it didn't show on the dash, and it had coolant, but it blew out a bunch of pressure after sitting for a week. So maybe blown head gasket too. I mean, could have been a lot of things that happened, but we were not gonna know for sure until we start tearing into this thing. So first thing, take off the coils, take out all the plugs, and see if we could see any damage just from pulling the plugs out. And if we can't, then from there, we'll move on to a compression test and see what cylinders actually got destroyed. You know, it's even possible that, I'll pull the motor and the cylinders all don't look too bad, and maybe this engine's rebuildable. Maybe it's even just head gaskets that blew. I mean, we're not going to know until we start tearing it down. So that's going to be next. Ooh. This one, not so good. It looks like it's covered in oil. Or, let's see, it's covered in something. Yeah, it's oil. So, what is that one? Go on to the next one. Oh, crap. All right, so there's an issue here. That should not look like that at all. Damn. Well, there's the other cylinder that destroyed itself, or that I destroyed. All right, so what I plan on doing real quick is a compression test. Pretty sure pretty sure something seriously wrong with the motor, but I just want to see where the compression's at. Especially those two cylinders that have the bad plugs. So we're gonna do that real quick. Well, that was the center cylinder. Wherever my finger's at. That was the center cylinder. the one that originally had low compression has now no compression. That one was a cylinder with the burned up plug. So there's the compression testing done, and we could see that this first cylinder, I believe, had some compression. It's kind of low, I think like 120. Second one was the one that had low compression from the very beginning. That one had none. Back one had some compression as well. And then when we go to the passenger side, first one had compression. No, these all had compression. I think only the very last one had kind of high. It was 150. This center cylinder was the one that had that plug that melted the plug down. And that one actually had 90 psi of compression, which is kind of odd. I would have thought that it would have had like nothing too, but shows some compression. I don't think this motor is going to be any good, just because it sounded like something was getting like caught up when I was turning it, when I was cranking it over. It could have been that the battery was low, but it sounded more like something was hanging up the motor, something internally. So we'll find that out once we tear it down. Like I said, it could be something inside. It could have been that the battery was low. I had to hook up my truck to this battery, give it a jump real quick to get it to do the compression test. But yeah, for sure this engine's coming out. And then once it's out, I kind of want to just tear it down just to see what exactly happened, but more so just for fun. So, you know, I did all this work to the car, and only really got to drive it a few times, not really that much, and then it blows up like this. And I'm not that mad that it blew up. I'm kind of more mad that I didn't record any of the runs that we did, because the runs me and Tony had were actually some pretty good runs. So that's the only thing I was like, man, if I would have just had a GoPro on me, like a strap head mount one or something just to record it, or somebody else would have recorded it for us. But 3 runs in a row and I didn't get any video of it. That's the only thing I'm really butthurt about, but whatever. We're gonna pull this motor, start looking for another one, and probably the next video is gonna be pulling this motor out. Probably won't show you guys everything about pulling the motor, since I already did one, like all of pulling the motor. I might just like go over like little bits of like info that you might need if you're pulling this motor, but you know, just little bits here and there. For the most part, it's gonna be if I end up getting a J30 motor, showing you guys what you need to switch over from this one over to the J30, and what you have to change around on the J30 to get it to work over here. Or if it's just another NA Z32 motor, then I'll go over everything that we did to NA to TT again, a little more clear though this time. So anyways, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.